Welcome to the ICE podcast, supported by the US Soybean Export Council, an initiative to enable the cold chain industry of India to be future ready.
Hello everyone, I am Atul Khanna and I would like to welcome you to the ICE podcast supported by USEC, the US Soybean Export Council. This podcast would be a one-stop shop to provide education to the cold chain industry and prepare it for the future to handle temperature-controlled products. With this, I would like to hand it over to the most respected expert of the cold chain industry, Mr. Manjunath MS, who will be your host for this ICE podcast series. I hope this initiative is useful for all of you and helps in evolving the Indian cold chain industry.
Never stop learning because there's always something new to learn. Learning leads us to understanding and acquisition of knowledge. And the right use of knowledge at the appropriate place and time is wisdom. Effectively, learning leads us to wisdom. Hello, listeners. I'm Manjunath and I'm hosting this iSpot series on a subject called cold chain technology. This is supported by the US Soybean Export Council. Cold chain technology is one of the several technologies and techniques to preserve food and enhance its shelf life. Some of the popular techniques for food preservation are like salt pickling, which is very common and we see that in our homes, sugar pickling, like jams and jellies and etc. Smoking, which is generally done for a certain type of fish, drying, canning, etc. But it is important to learn that the only way to keep food produce in its original natural taste and mouthfeel and nutrient content is by putting the fresh produce into an appropriate cold chain. All other processes and techniques that I spoke about earlier, they actually alter the original taste, the original shape, mouthfeel, and sometimes even the original nutrition value when they go through these preservation techniques. India is producing one of the highest quantities of raw food in the world. We are poised to be globally number one to number three in every natural food that is harvested, from fruits and vegetables to grains to poultry, meat, seafood, dairy, you name it. Yet, our knowledge, learning, and understanding of the required food processing and preservation techniques, especially through cold chain, seems limited and sprinkled. Available resources for such applied knowledge seem to be out of reach of our cold chain practitioners and users. They are in need of updating their understanding and knowledge of the latest technology and techniques, the best practices and standards in the field of cold chain, in the field of refrigeration, cold warehousing, and transportation of chilled and frozen packaged foods through an unbroken cold chain. So what does cold chain involve, or what does cold chain technology involve? Cold chain involves static infrastructure like cold rooms and cold warehouses, and mobile infrastructure like refrigerated trucks, reefer containers that can operate on multimodal transportation systems, like the same reefer container can go on the ship and it can then be transported on rails on a railway and then eventually can be hauled over the road by a trailer. So this is about the multimodal transportation system. And then there are other areas like retail refrigerated merchandising, like deep freezers, Visi coolers, Visi freezers, and sophisticated retail merchandising shelves for refrigerated product sales. At the core of this technology is refrigeration. Refrigeration is required to create the lower temperatures in which the fresh and processed produce like dairy products, fruits and vegetables, poultry products, etc., need to be stored and transported to enhance their shelf life. Building such a cold chain infrastructure and understanding the cold chain processes requires a good exposure to the knowledge of refrigeration system design, equipment selection, insulation materials and construction systems for building the cold stores and cold warehouses, equipment installation processes, equipment and warehouse maintenance processes, equipment automation, control and troubleshooting, and several other aspects of the cold chain. The cold chain operations also demand a thorough understanding and application of the knowledge of product physiology, storage protocols at appropriate temperatures, cold chain processes like pre-cooling, quick chilling, blast freezing, individual quick freezing, and process cooling. Several other processes too. It is with this intention that we are launching a series of podcasts featuring eminent experts from the field of cold chain and food preservation. These experts will share their expertise and update us on the new and appropriate technology and techniques in specific areas of cold chain. Every episode will have an expert speak on a specific topic to facilitate our learning on cold chain technology. We believe that this podcast channel could be one of the most important contributions for the development of cold chain industry at this point in time. Limited resources are available to the cold chain industries for the modernization of cold storages. So the information available on the podcasts will play a vital role in further evolution and developing of expertise of the cold chain for the country. Through these podcasts, we propose to provide information to all the stakeholders with our reach extended not only to national but even to international experts and providing information on building and operating a modern cold storage or a refrigerated transportation system. Our aim is to provide quality and current information on such topics like design, installation, maintenance of modern cold warehouses, current and futuristic refrigerants, process refrigeration, refrigerated transport systems, industrial IoT, Internet of Things for cold chain automation, tracking and tracing, and safety aspects of the cold chain. On the government's part, the government is very keen to enhance growth of food processing in India. Recently, the Interministerial Approval Committee (IMAC) has approved 27 projects in 11 states with an investment outlay of about 100 million US dollars. And this is under the scheme for integrated cold chain and value addition infrastructure of the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. These 27 projects are all fundamentally based on the establishment of an unbroken cold chain. These integrated cold chain projects will not only provide a big boost to the growth of food processing infrastructure, but they will also help in streamlining the agricultural supply chain, generate direct and indirect employment opportunities in rural areas, provide better facilities and prices to farmers, better quality to consumers, and benefit allied sectors. These efforts would help develop the cold chain sector in India. So, with these words, I thank you, listeners, and see you soon with our upcoming podcast. We'll have a new expert speaking on a specific area of cold chain. Please tune in and keep chilling, keep chilling, keep chilling with a warm dose of cold chain learning. Thank you very much.